Oui, comme la télévision australienne.
Andre Brown, Channel 7. It's obvious that this regime is not going to fall just by local protests. Would you welcome a military intervention on behalf of Israel, backed by US?
Absolutely not. That has been my red line from the beginning. I think that any kind of military intervention out of principle is something that as a nationalist I would reject. And I think many Iranians will join me in that opinion. And most importantly, it's not even necessary, because unlike your description, I would not accept the premise of it, because I think in fact the element that will be the ultimate element that will be pressure from within on the regime is what will cause the regime to fall. Let me explain one thing. Sanctions are important because it does weaken the regime. But let's not forget that the basic flaw that the West has had in dealing with Iran was on the premise of a false expectation of behavior change. The whole basis of the sanction was to bring them back to the table to be nice guys and play nice. That will not happen because the nature of this regime simply doesn't lend itself to coexistence with the free world and its values, which is why it has failed, which is why you could never get a result out of that. So therefore, instead of thinking of behavior change, the focus should be on regime change as a solution, even though it got a bad name because America didn't perform that well in Iraq. But that doesn't mean that the concept is wrong. It was badly implemented somewhere else. The solution is regime change. Now, if you add parallel to maximum pressure, a policy of maximum support, that's where you invigorate our society that is currently on the street fighting and resisting. When you maximize support to the resistance at home, when you are prepared to fund the labor strikes in Iran, which is the ultimate means of paralyzing the system from within, and then it's sufficient force to force the regime to collapse, then you can bring pressure internally with no need of any kind of foreign intervention. That will be destructive, distracting, out of principle, the wrong way to go, and certainly we do not want to earn our independence and sovereignty under the missiles and guns of some other forces. Iran doesn't need that and can do without. The question is whether these governments in the region who are reasonably concerned and rightfully concerned understand that you have the best army in place in Iran right now. It's the people on the streets. It's the people who are in a position to say, you know who we are, we're not like them, we're different, we're like you, we think like you. Help us get rid of this problem together. You cannot find a better opportunity right now that exists right in front of your eyes. And this is the opportunity I think the world should seize. When the Iranians are more than ever ready to do it, they're paying with their lives for it. Until now, without any kind of support, imagine what they can do if they had some support, and hopefully even more than that. That will be sufficient enough to resolve the problem without even having to think about any form of external intervention.